Pregame.com.
All right, guys, this is our last video, Stephen and myself, for this week. It's Rants of the Week. No free pick here. Check the other videos out if you want a free pick. This is where Stephen and I get to get off what's on our chest this week, invent, and then you guys can join in the forums and tell us what's bothering you guys, or if you have something better than we're ranting about. Stephen, what do you got on your chest this week?
Well, watching the Bears-Raiders game last Sunday, Marco, I saw Shane Leckler hit an 80-yard punt. It didn't surprise me. He's a great punter, probably the best punter in the NFL. But it brought something, a event of mine that I appreciate you letting me air out here. There's one position not represented in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That position is punter, and that needs to be rectified. I think Ray Guy should be in the Hall of Fame. He's the greatest punter I ever saw, and for him not to be in the Hall of Fame is just terrible. He played in the NFL from 1973 to 1986, and he punted 1,049 times. Do you know how many touchdowns were returned on any of those punts?
Zero?
Zero. Zero. No one ever returned a touchdown on a Ray Guy punt. He had 210 punts that were down inside the 20, and that doesn't include the first 3 years of his career because they didn't keep track of that statistic back then. They just started that in the mid-'70s. And he not only was a punter, he was an athlete. He could throw the ball, he could run the ball. He really, when you handicapped Raider games back then, Marco, he factored. You had to factor him into your handicapping. He was a weapon. He was that. He definitely had an income. He factored in the outcome of the game. He was just a tremendous player, 7-time Pro Bowler, and it's just a real injustice. If this were a baseball season and I was doing a rant, I'd be ranting about Ron Santo not being in the Baseball Hall of Fame. But since it's football, Ray Guy is my #1 guy who I feel should be in the Hall of Fame and who's not.
Yeah, well, one of the things, to go back to Ray Guy punting, and it's a lost art. I mean, now, you've said about the stat of, being downed inside the 20 and stuff. Back then, guys could kick to the coffin corner.
Yeah, coffin corner.
Okay.
I haven't heard that expression much.
Well, because me and you're pretty close to the coffin. I think so. The reason why we're so old. But, now it's, just you try to kick it up so high and have your coverage team get down there and, field the ball inside the 5. Isn't it easier to, kick it on the diagonal and go out, inside the 10-yard line? You don't have to worry about the ball hitting and bouncing into the end zone or your guys getting back there.
It's a lost art that perhaps Tom Coughlin would like to train his Giants punters to learn. But, Guy was a master at that. But punters don't do that now. They run the risk of having it marked out of bounds at the 15 or the 20. And there's such fast special teamers now. They can get down there and cover the punt inside the 5. But Guy was a tremendous player. It's terrible, Marco, that he's not in the Hall of Fame. It's just terrible.
I can't argue with you. And there should be at least one person for every position played. I mean,
you have sports writers. They have a wing, a sports writers wing, but they don't have a punter.
Are you on the ballot for the sports writers?
No, I
wing?
just missed this year.
You just missed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe next year I'll get that call.
Okay. Well, I'm still waiting for them to have a handicapper wing, but the NFL, still believes that nobody bets on the game. So
that darkened corridor they would do.
But my rant, we're going to stay in the same game.
Okay.
We stay in Oakland,
Good.
Okay? Because I still haven't left there from last Sunday. And if I was there, I probably would have went up into the booth, found where offensive coordinator Mike Martz was, and I would have probably choked the living hell out of him. Okay? You know what? You don't always have to be the smartest guy in the room. This guy always has to just, traditional football still works, okay? You had a penalty that gave you 2nd down and half a yard, maybe a little more than a foot, half yard. You're at the 5-yard line. Run the ball. You have some of the best running backs in your backfield. Give it to Forte. Give it to Marion Barber.
Isn't that why you signed Marion Barber?
Yeah, I mean, and instead, what play, okay, you don't want to run it. It's second and a foot is a throwaway down. Okay, I gotcha. Don't call a play where you have a quarterback making his first start, roll to the right, stop, and throw all the way back across the field on a touch pass that he has to drop in, which if he does drop it in, if he arced it another yard and a half in the air, it is a touchdown. The guy walks in untouched, but he underthrows it, and the guy picks it off and runs it all the way back to the other end. So instead of going in, and that was right before the half to boot, instead of going in with the lead at halftime, they give up another field goal the other way. So it was at minimum a 6-point swing, possibly a 10-point swing, because they should have scored the touchdown there instead of giving up 3. And obviously I had a big play on Chicago. They were +3 and lost by 5. So yes, I am not a happy camper.
Well, I like the Bears too in that game. And I'll tell you this, whenever the side I'm on is on defense and I see the other quarterback, opposing quarterback, rolling one way, throwing across his body to the other side of the field, my eyes are lighting up thinking pick 6. Martz, he's done this his whole career. You ask him, okay, can you run Barber, whoever you have as your power back, inside the 5 into the goal line? No, style points, baby, style points. We've got to do something fancy to get that touchdown. I don't know if he just, what his problem is. Just get the touchdown, okay?
And then for a secondary mini rant, let's stay in the same game. And I've asked a lot of people this week, and I'm actually going to ask the viewers because I want to see what you guys think, what you would call it. When it was 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and it was an 8-point game, they had a 4th and 2, the Bears did, or a 52-yard field goal. They elected to go for the field goal, which he did make, and cut it to 5. My question is, why?
Yeah. What does 5 do for you?
You still got to score a touchdown. Now, if the field goal cuts you to 3 and then you can tie the game, but it cuts the lead to 5. First of all, if you miss the game, if you miss the field goal, now they've got the ball almost at midfield to start their drive. And again, even when you make it, you're still down. You need a touchdown to win the ball game. It made absolutely no sense to me to try that field goal. They should have went on 4th and 2 and tried to move the ball down for the touchdown.
Well, I agree with you. It only would have made sense if Jay Cutler was still their quarterback, because their defense could have stopped them. They could have gotten the ball and then gone for a touchdown. But come on, Haney, he's going to get you a touchdown there? No, I agree with you. That even Gould's a good kicker, good long-range kicker there. What does putting it on 5 do for you? Nothing. Yeah, I agree with you. It's
I did a lot of screaming at the TV on Sunday. My poor dogs were confused. They thought I was yelling at them, and they go running under the table. All right, I have to put my dogs in therapy when I watch Bears games. That's our rants of the week. Carry on the conversation. This video will be in the mega thread, pregamevideos.com. You can check it out. All of the videos will be in there that we do this week, not only the ones that Stephen and myself did, but RJ, Brian Leonard, myself. Check out all those videos and, comment. Let's hear what you have to say. If you liked Mike Martz's call, if you thought Lovie Smith should have went on 4th and 2, let's hear it. We want to, carry on the conversation. That's what it's all about. And you can ask us questions on the games. We'll be there to answer them for you throughout the weekend. As always, thanks for watching. Best of luck with the games this week. He's Stephen Nover. I'm Marco D'Angelo. Talk to you next week with another Rants of the Week.